educators. Welcome to SDS Voice Unfiltered. Today, I bring to you the SDS slate, an indispensable tool in the preparation, initiation, and the development of decent handwriting, especially from the early years. Our SDS slate comes in two. The first one, which is called the identification slate, that has this face and the plain face. The second one, called the writing slate, that has this face and this face. So let's start with the first one, which is the identification slate. Comes in two phases, the 2B phase and the plain phase. So once the child is enrolled, the first thing that should be introduced to the child is the identification slate. Because at this point, these children don't know how to grip their pencil or make use of the exercise book. So instead of scaring these kids away, why not make your learning fun by introducing the identification slate for those little ones? So while the teacher will write the letters of the alphabet or the numbers that she wants the children to play with on that day, she will provide the children with either the letters of the alphabet or the numbers. So while she sounds the letter, the children are expected to place the letter, bringing it out. Let's say she sounded the letter bar. So the children are expected to place it here, bar. Very well. So while this is going on, the teacher will move around the class, making sure that each child is doing exactly what he or she is expected to do at this point. Now, one of the things that the class stands to gain, or the teacher stands to gain at this point, is what I call the absolute control of your class. Because at this phase, every child will be busy with his or her own slate, and there will be no need for distraction. Once the pupils have been able to successfully graduate from this phase, which is the preparation phase, they will move over to the plain phase that is used for scribbling and tracing. So while the teacher will write a very big R sound or B sound, she will hand the children a small marker meant for the board. They will start tracing it. They can be allowed to scribble right on their own. Now, what this particular phase is expected to do in the life of those little ones is to help them develop their locomotor movement, the effectiveness of gripping their pencil and being able to move their pencil in the right direction, not placing their hand on the board to write, but holding it in the right position. So once they are done with the identification slate, the next slate they move over to this particular slate, which is the writing slate. And the first phase they will meet is the 2B phase. This particular phase is used for alignment and the first miniature. Remember that when they used the first plain phase, they were writing so big. So at this point, the children are expected to write either the letters of the alphabet or the number, miniaturing it to fit inside the box. They will write it so that it will enter inside the box without having to crawl. That is where the teacher comes in, moving in the class one by one, making sure that these children are actually doing what they are expected to do at this point. So once the children has been able to successfully make use of this place, writing and miniaturing it to fit inside the small balls, they will enter the next one, which is the 2D phase. A lot of us are familiar with this phase in our exercise book. So at this point, the children have already cultivated this act of decent handwriting, this culture of decent handwriting. So they will start writing with this. Which is their first guide and their second miniaturing in the development of decent handwriting. If a teacher successfully makes use of these tools in preparing, initiating, and developing decent handwriting in those your children, tell me why those kids will not cultivate the culture of decent handwriting. Remember, handwriting is not a subject that should be included in your timetable. It is a culture that must be cultivated, and you can actually do that using our SDS slates.